Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, family. This is your brother Preacher Moss. Hope that you are having an excellent day. Um, okay, so a little technical thing. There we go. Alhamdulillah. Um, today's show is a little bit introspective. We're all aware of the tragedy that happened at Islamic Center of San Diego, and it usually happens like that. You're going through your day, whatever challenges or struggles you're going through, blessings that you're enjoying, and it's always and I can't everybody was always a feeling that was sort of like it was always something just beyond the periphery. For a lot of years, it seemed like it was always something even more. It wasn't like something that's manageable. And I'm always about hey the periphery, but it seems like the things beyond our scope, beyond our horizon, that we seem to be getting just more and more extreme. You know, this world, and I said this during I said it during the pandemic. I said that we were to a stage of American history, spiritual reality in America, that we were entering a space where we were spiritually sick. This was the most unhealthy spiritual environment that I had seen at the time of my age. Of course, I have elders who would tell me, it's been worse than this, and I did not discount that, but it was different. Because sometimes when you look at the things that happened in the 60s and the 50s, um, it was still a space for people to find righteousness in their souls and their actions. Let me um, there were people who realized what was going on in the 60s with segregation and Jim Crow who internally said this was wrong. They may not have been able to turn it around in terms of, lawmaking or things like that, but there was an emphasis that made it right. And you see it now. Like if you turn on any commercial now, 85% of the commercials have mixed families. There's a black man and a white man, or a black man and a white woman, or a white woman and a black. You have gay couples that are black man and white man. To make it seem like there's racial harmony or at least racial understanding. But we don't have those things. Were legislated against, but in righteousness, I can get some slack. You're gonna love who you love. Alhamdulillah. That's the way it goes. But my point is, these things grew despite of legal oppression. Laws that were meant to contradict and produce counterproduction for human growth and development, particularly in the African community. So when this thing happened, and Brother Amin Abdullah, let me share something. This is a post that the brother made on May 5th. Um, Amin Abdullah. This is a person who is love of self, love of community, love of God. He says, what is success? To many people, success is financial stability, good reputation, beauty, etc. As for me, wallahi, thumma, wa- thumma wallahi, it is returning back to Allah, our Creator, with the same pure soul that He loaned me at birth. Let me say that again. He says, it is returning back to Allah, our Creator, the same pure soul He loaned me at birth. Having the lakia of Allah, Allahu Ta'ala, saying, don't fear, don't grieve. receive the glad tidings of Jannah, which you promised by the most forgiving, most Allah to Allah, grant us husnul khatima. Ameen. That was May 5th. May 5th. And I bring this up because that is the glue that holds whatever this experiment of democracy, this cajoling of this is America. Those are the type of people that hold together. I was speaking to someone earlier. I said, two young men, 17, 18, allegedly committed this crime, committed these murders. But where did they get the guys? Where did they get the guidance that you get that far off the track? And there's something to be said about suicide. Suicide people isolate. This guy got a car buddy, and they kill themselves, evidently, kill themselves, self-inflicted wounds, whatever it is, after the crime. But my point is the two in a balance. Listen to what this brother just said about returning to Allah. And it's not just returning to Allah in terms of the physical of your life. What are you doing in terms of your good deeds? What are you doing in terms of your great intent? How are you serving your creation? Is what this brother's saying. And you look at the juxtaposition between what I just read to you and two boys, children, mentally not developed, 17 and 18, all they did was murder. Look at the two. Last week, I did a show that said there's a war on logic. This week, I'll say it, open season. Now, some of you you overreact. I'm not overreacting. And please, if you see me in the street or you see me in the masjid, don't tell me I'm overreacting. I'm 59. I will be 60 in December. And I watched people methodically, with methodically, with deliberation, eat away at this Muslim logic. The thing that this brother just said, it can only permeate amongst us. We have people who not listen to this type of love, logic, and relevance and reverence their whole life. There are political. This is the antithesis. This is what they've been trying to get away from. They've been trying to legislate love, legislate devotion, legislate mercy, legislate service away from the Muslim. And let me be even more clear to the Black community, who's seen as soulless, who's seen as not having guidance, who's seen as an animal, an aberration in the history of creation, that we cannot possibly have love. We cannot possibly have intellect. That somehow, some way, let me back up. That somehow, some way, not that we have it, but we're not entitled to it. We're not entitled to go get it. You know what these white boys, these punk white boys look like, brothers and sisters? It looks like they went to the masjid and they attempted a drive-by. Good old boys in the hood drive-by. But somehow, when the information comes out, we're supposed to be sympathetic to them. We're supposed to be sympathetic and somehow understand. I get tired of people always you want me to understand you, but you don't respect me. You want me to understand your religion, but you don't respect human life. I can't do it anymore. It's unfair. It's unreasonable. The fact of the matter is, Muslims, it's not just an open season on Muslims, it's an open season on Muslim logic. It's an open season on it's open season on Muslim history. It's an open season on Muslim history. And everything that comes with these countries, from Palestine to Yemen to the Congo, that history of suffrage that somehow, somewhere, this religion lifts people up whereby they don't lose their damn mind. People are afraid. And it's the people who are afraid, brothers and sisters, the people who are insane, brothers and sisters, that want to call everybody else afraid and insane. Let me tell you something about being black in America. You know why black men die early? I'm gonna tell you why. Because from the time you come out the womb, you got your head on you have your head on a swivel. You know, I went to school during busing. And I remember one of the hardest things in the world was to focus on being a good student, learning my lesson, knowing that when school was over or recess happened, I was probably gonna have to fight a white kid. And if I got caught fighting in school, I can guarantee the white principal and the white assistant principal and the white teacher somehow are gonna craft a narrative that I was an absolute animal. That when I got chased home from school, somehow, some way, I provoked these people to come after. I provoked people who were I was in second grade, I provoked a sixth grader to come chase after. And the other thing is, what level of barbarism are we supposed to live with? We have a president, and I'll say it, he's a barbarian. And the only way he can survive is turning everyone else into barbarians. He's uncultured, uncouth. And what did the uncultured, uncouth do? They make everybody else uncultured, uncouth. We are diametrically opposed as believers, true believers in this religion of Islam, true believers in this religion of Christianity and Judaism, are diametrically opposed because this is not a religion that caters to and bows down to things that are unethical. That you don't like me, you can't come directly at me. So you craft laws, you craft opinion, you craft narrative whereby the environment will get me. These brothers lost their lives. You know, um, Amin Abdullah, Mansour, Kasiha, Nader Awad, may Allah be pleased with him and give them large graves with light and space for their good deeds. Let me be very, very clear. In a couple months, we're going to forget all about them. In a couple months, they're going to be a footnote. Why do I say that? You've been watching Palestine since October 7th, 2023. We see that we see that death, we see that sacrifice, we see the martyrdom. And you know what? We've gotten into our head. Okay, it's over here. Well, it's been here for a long time. And you have to be careful, brothers and sisters, because this situation is twofold. The situation is twofold. One fold is somehow, some way, these two gentlemen who committed this act felt that they felt that they were entitled to do so. Listen to the mind. You're entitled to do that. The normalcy and the things that are rational don't matter anymore if brothers somehow interferes with your goal. All right, let's get to the family, the shout out family. I've been talking for a minute. I haven't even gone to the show, bro. I'm sorry about that. Um, give some love to our shout out family. Satana, who we got? All right, Sister Ree, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I heard you're sick, sister. I hope you're feeling well. Peace and blessings to you. Allah give you shafa. Your buddy is just bouncing at the rims to see you, but we want you to be healthy. If you need anything, please give us a call. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings to your family. I'll talk for Sheed, a Canadian envoy to the shout out show, one of my day ones, Mr. 6 o'clock, straight up, straight down. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brother. Thank you so much for joining us. Peace and blessings to you and your family. Next up. Allah Salahuddin. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother Bilal. And it's Queen Sister Sonia Dalton. Salahuddin, good to see you, brother. Appreciate you, man. I'm on one today, so forgive your brother, but I am on one because uh, we can't shake this. Can't be a situation where this happens in 6 months down the road. Oh, yeah, when did it happen? Did it happen? Oh yeah, we can't have that situation. Next up. Oh, my dear sister, this is my big sister from Baltimore. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. It's just always a pleasure to see and hear from you. We got to get on the phone because we just been over this. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I was young in the game of Islam, this is a sister that I can reach out to, and she was just a gem. I'm just happy to see you on the show. I know I haven't seen you in a minute, but please give me in your duas, Bishop. To Brother Eric Carter from South Carolina, South Kakalaki. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh, good brother. Good to see you. My brother, my little brother JT. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh, good brother. Good to see you on the show. Always a pleasure to see you. She'll get some blessings. Give mom a call. She wants to talk to you about something. And let me jump out here to Instagram. Got a few people. My brother Ali Sadiq. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I need to talk to you. I'm gonna bring can I bring Ali in? Ali, I'm not sure how to do it. I will figure it out for the next time. Forgive your brother. Um Everybody, Ali Sadiq, one of the most talented comedians. I'm proud to call him my brother. I've seen his growth. People say, "How Ali?" I'm like, 20 years I've been watching his brother. He has been a stand-up guy, and I'm proud to call him uh, peer in the business, but I'm more proud to call him my Muslim brother. Keep making the waf, and hey man, keep being successful. I'm gonna get him in. I got to figure out how to do it. I'll leave, but forgive me this time. I'll get it the next time. I don't think this is. It's not a. It's a live. We'll figure it out. Forgive your brother. Shout out Sister Satana. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good to see you. So we got Coop 8990 joined. Sarah and Fluffy. How you doing? Rafiq, BJJ on. Okay, we got our sister from Baltimore, Sister Misbah Qureshi. She's Umed Center, Healing. She joined. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ali, we got to talk. So, um, it's two things I'm worried about. What is the Muslim response? And I'm going to throw this out here. Um, we can't keep this emotion that people are going to start liking us because we let them do more of what they want to do. You understand? We can't get into this thing that people are going to respect us more because we give them more ability to disrespect us. There's two parts to this. One, in the aspect of prophetic tradition, is the fact that there's a thing about distance in Islam. There's a thing about distance in Islam. When I talk about distance in Islam, that there's allowable space to stay away from things that can hurt you. Right? It's in the 40 hadith. Leave the things that make you doubt for the things that don't make you doubt. That's widely known. But we tend to believe that the things that make us doubt can change, that they can change for some reason. And when I say change, it is, you know, like it's magic. Here in the state of Texas, here in the state of Texas, um, they have elections going on. They had them going on. One here, let's just say Houston, Dallas, whatever. One of the things you can't overlook is there's definitely a piece, if you will, where folks just they disrespect Muslims. I'm gonna put this commercial up. Oh, you can't even hear it. Okay, forgive me. But it's the fact that the idea of Muslim image and personhood and just awareness, the scope of a safe space for Muslim identity is being attacked in political ads. That Republicans are attacking other Republicans because you're not hard enough on the Muslims. Democrats are quiet because Democrats are like, I want to jump in the fight because I might think, oh my God, I like Muslims. The thing that burns me up, the thing that's problematic is that we keep repeating this cycle. We keep lending certain aspects of admissibility for people to disrespect us. I'm old enough, like Ali Sadiq, you old enough to remember when white people used to be afraid of black people. You used to say like this to white people, what? They go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You don't do that no more. And the killer part is, and this is a strategy, they just stop dealing with black people. All of our great leaders are elderly now. You know, Jesse Jackson just returned. He passed away. Mr. Farrakhan just had his 94th birthday, right? Imam Ward Muhammad has been gone for quite a long time. And there's a hodgepodge of American Muslim clerics that we find respectful, but they don't move the needle. They don't move the needle. You see what I'm saying? What I mean is, for the things that are important to us, we don't have an identity. You know, when Muhammad Ali passed away, and I went to his janazah, it was a very interesting question. And the question was, who's going to take his place? And if you look at the chain of transmission, this was, and it's interesting, it started from the Nation of Islam, but it still moved to what would be a mainstream representation of Islam, but it still honed on to the black narrative of what it was to come from slavery up, or come from slavery and not just come from slavery, but strive. People go back to his genetics still haven't figured that out. And I believe it was not for one person to, like Imam Ward Muhammad, when he passed, he didn't assign a leader for us to follow. The impetus was that we would be strong enough individually to create a community that could back the murders that happened in San Diego. These are just the ones that were successful. These are the ones that are successful. It's a cadre of other things that are going on. If you call CARE, you know, the amount of people reporting anti-Muslim behavior, Islamophobic behavior, is through the roof. You know, upwards of 8,000 complaints through the roof. This is 8,000 complaints. They don't have the manpower to deal with 8,000 people. They just don't. 8,000 cases. They're not the police. They don't have private investigators. Do you see what I'm saying? So while there's an identity of a problem, there's not an investigation of a problem because there's no investigation of a problem. There's no solution to the problem. Hence the permissibility. Everybody knows in the hood, somebody gets killed in the hood, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, somebody in the hood that did it. But the best police tell you the way we find out who did what or who killed who, they rely on who? The community, informants, X, Y, and Z. People that will tell you what happened because it's police work. only effective up to a point. So let me drive this point home, and then I'm gonna get off. I'm worried, and this is not a case of chickens coming home to roost. The chickens never left. I'm worried because now, it's like if MAGA was Superman, they rip the shirt open, there'd be a big M on their chest, and that M is not for Muslims. That M is for mayhem. That M is for the monster of people who have abandoned like-mindedness. They've abandoned charity. They've abandoned mercy. We are in a country, people. Folks don't have insurance. People can't pay for food. People can't pay for gas. People can't pay for college. People can't pay for health care. People can't buy homes. You have all these things. That image for misery. There's a misery economy, and this thing that happened in San Diego, Islamic Center of San Diego, it is evident of a misery economy. It's now the people who are going around, they have license as miserable people to do things that make other people miserable, to do things that snatch other people's joy. And this is not under the scope and theological understanding of Islam, brothers and sisters. They're nowhere near it. This is the following and issuing of edicts of demonic behavior, racist behavior, sexist behavior, that now there's no guardrails. There's no guardrails. And I have to say this, you say, what is it in? You know, quietly, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, should be the DOIJ, which is Department of Injustice, has put out a slush fund for all these people who Trump feels were wronged. They were wronged by investigations. Da, 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 $1.776 million. 1.77 billion dollars. A slush fund that these people can go to. I was wrong and get money. The people at the Capitol on January 6th didn't get any money. They were ostracized. They were demonized for doing their job. They're the ones who are putting up a protest about this money because they don't want the people who caused the problem, who caused the disruption, who broke the law, to be rewarded for it. Now think about these two, I'm going to call them young men because it's better than what I was about to call them, animals. Let me just call them animals. You know, my fear when I deal with animals is animals will pick and choose when they want to be animals. If they have to sit and eat a steak with you with a knife and fork, they will do that. But in another situation, you can take a piece of raw meat, throw it on the ground, and get on all fours and eat it. That's what we're dealing with today. And I would say this, and our guide us and give us the best of this world, of course, and the best of the next world. And I wish that for our dear brothers who were martyred. And be careful. They were shaheeds. They were martyred. And I pray for their families and their friends and their communities. People, we got to do better. You know why? Because ain't nobody else going to do better. That's the show. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ali, I owe you one. I appreciate all of you. Talk to you soon. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next week, inshallah.